Better than never. Okay, so you get your 30-day furlough.
Yeah.
You go back to the States and you come back to Netashall.
Right. So
Start a new series of.
yeah, so we went back, and now they broke up the crew. They reassigned them to different crews,
Okay.
and I think one or two men of the crew, for some reason, they told him you don't have to fly. They have enough of. They had enough airmen in his position. They sent him back home for good. He's all set.
Oh, okay. You already
So-
have a number. Oh, by the way, I was going to ask you before that furlough. It sounded like what happened before the furlough. If you were there, did you participate in the Poltava missions?
No.
Mission. Okay. Did that happen while you were on furlough? In other words, did you do the furlough right after D-Day, or pretty quickly after that? Because the Poltava mission was like in June 23, 24,
Okay.
1943.
I do remember that we had finished our 30 missions,
Okay.
and we're laying around waiting for orders to go home on furlough.
Okay.
And this trip came up.
Okay.
I wanted to get on it. I thought it'd be something good, but no way. They refused me.
Yeah.
I would have loved to go on a mission like that.
Okay.
So-
So you missed that opportunity.
So at that, just maybe a few days later, that's when we got our orders to go home.
Okay. Oh, another thing I forgot to ask. What squadron were you assigned to?
I started off with the 561st.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So then you go on furlough and you come back. Your crew gets disbanded or split up, and everybody goes to different units or different
So my
crews.
my pilot got a promotion to captaincy,
Okay.
and he got another. Had another crew,
Okay.
and my co-pilot went to another crew, and I had no assignment. So this is where the interesting part of my career comes. When I say sometime, even though I prayed a lot, because to me prayer meant an awful lot.
Okay.
But fate, F-A-T-E, it had to be with me all the time. So they couldn't find a spot for me. So one day Colonel Cox, he came over to me and he said, "Jim, got to put you on a crew, but I don't know where to put you." He said, I have two crews. I have one crew. They just came over. They haven't flown any combat missions yet. And then I have another crew. They have about 15 missions, and they have a lot of experience flying on missions, and they fly in a good position of the formation. So he said, I'll let you decide which crew you want to fly
Okay.
with. Well, I said, I don't know how I can pick anyone. I said, I'll tell you what, can I meet the pilot of each crew? He said, yeah, we can arrange that. So we met with, went to the officers club, and at the bar, Colonel Cox introduced me to a pilot. His name was Tom Morrison. He just came over, no combat experience, and we had a drink, and I talked to him, but while I talked to him, I was more or less analyzing his demeanor.
Okay.
It was like a psychologist trying to study somebody. What's he like? What's he going to do? So the more I talked with this Tom, I said, "Gee, for a young pilot and no experience, I'll put that in the back of my head." So about a half hour later, we had an appointment with the other crew,
Okay.
with the pilot. So we talked to him, and I asked him, have you had any battle damage? What kind of missions have you gone through and all that? And he was telling me his opinion of all that. And he said, we fly in a good position. I have a pretty good crew, but we do need a bombardier.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Now they're both gone. And Colonel Cox says to me, "Well, Jim, what do you think?" I said, "I'm going to fly with a brand new crew." Now the colonel says, "What the heck's the matter?" He said, "Are you nuts? It's a brand new crew. You know, you're going to fly on tail end Charlie. You're going to be susceptible to, a fighter attack and all that. And you got this other crew to have a nice position on the in the formation. I can't figure you out." I says, "Colonel, sir, you gave me a choice. You didn't assign me. You gave me a choice. And that's the one I picked." So I'll cut the story a little shorter. So we get on. I met the whole crew of the new crew, and we had a little meeting together. And I said to the pilot, I said, "Tom, I want you to know I got 30 missions under my belt. I've seen a lot, and I've learned a lot. There's one condition I'm going to insist on.
Okay.
If I see something wrong, I'm the one who's going to tell you what's right and what's wrong. Do you agree?" "Okay, okay,
Okay.
we'll go along with that." So on the very first mission, we flew tail end Charlie. You know what that is.
Yeah. You're at the end of the
You're
end
at
of the boat,
and
you're the most vulnerable because that's
very-
the fighters come in to
you're
get you
very
first.
vulnerable. So we did the mission, come back, and on the way home, I'm putting away my maps and all my gear and all that, and all of a sudden I look around, we're all alone in the sky. We're not in any formation whatsoever. Get on my speak. "Hey, Tom, what the hell is going on?" "No, Jim, I lost an engine, and I'm flying on 3 engines, and I don't want to, boost the other 3 engines. I don't want to hurt them, And I said, "Get that goddamn airplane up there fast." And I mean, forget the 3 engines. I've seen airplanes fly terrifically on 2 engines. So you better get up there fast. I said, "Where's the group?" He said, "They got to be up ahead."
You gotta be up ahead somewhere.
Yeah, they're gone.
They're up there somewhere.
So,
Jeez Louise.
okay, so you hear the engine picking up more power. But it took about 5 minutes. We finally got back into position.
Okay.
So as soon as we got into position, I got on the system, and I said, "I want everybody to take a look at 1 o'clock high." So 1 o'clock high, there were 2 German fighters.
Okay.
Okay, and I said to the whole crew, "You see those 2 German airplanes up there? If we were all alone in the sky, they would have had they would have had a lot of fun with us. And what I mean by fun is they would
Fun for them.
dive after you, and they would shoot at you, but the tracers would go right by your airplane. They'd be teasing you, and they would turn around and do the same thing, and finally come in for the kill, and that's it. So we landed, and all the crew members, all the young people, they're hugging me. "Oh, Lieutenant, so glad you were, so glad you had the experience, blah, blah, blah." So when I look back, I say, well, at least by picking the new crew, I would like to take credit that I saved the lives of 10 people.
Yep.
Because if they were with another, bombardier, someone who didn't have the experience, and that happened, they would have been dead.
They'd just been dilly-gaggling back there.
So that was fine. So I did a 2nd mission, 3rd mission.
Well, by the way, what was the name of that crew? Do you remember the name?
Tom Morrison.
Tom Morrison.
Morrison, yeah.
He was the lead pilot?
Right.
And
He
co-pilot?
wasn't a lead pilot. He was the pilot, yeah.
Okay, lead pilot. Okay.
So about the 4th or 5th mission, we on the way back, I'm putting away all my materials, my maps and things like that. And my navigator, happened to turn around, and he's leaning against the wall of the airplane where we were, and I looked at him, and I said, old Jack must be pretty tired. He's taking a good nap. So I turned around, I'm moving my maps and things like that. Something made me, this is fate now, okay? That's my entire premise of all my experiences. Something had to happen. So all of a sudden, something made me turn around again.
Okay.
I turned around, I looked at Jack, and around his oxygen mask, everything is blue. Well, you know what that was?
Yeah.
This man is ready to die.
Oxygen's cut off.
So I immediately went over to him, and when I checked, he had leaned back on his oxygen tube, and that shut off his air supply. And when that happens, you don't know anything. You can't tell what's happening. You just like going to sleep and you don't wake up again. So I put him on 100% oxygen, and I started slapping his face back and forth. God damn you, Jack! Don't die on me, will you? I'm yelling.
Yeah.
Tom, Jack, come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. So he finally came to. It was fine. Now I'm gonna go ahead a few years. This man's name was John Dempsey. So
Okay.
we called him Jack Dempsey after the boxer.
Yeah.
So I would say that was 1944. About 15 years later, being a pharmacist at that time, I had my own drugstore. Okay. Not my own drugstore. I worked for a chain.
Okay.
Yeah. And then one year we had a sales promotion, and I got first prize.
Okay.
I had the highest increase in sales in everything. And the first prize was, they call it the Rose Bowl promotion. Okay.
Okay.
So what we got was 2 weeks going to LA to the headquarters of our company, and we had we treated royally, dinners every night, the Rose Bowl parade, the Rose Bowl football game.
Okay.
The whole works was nice. So in the meantime, the host of the group, of the company group, they had a suite of rooms in the hotel.
Okay.
Okay, and every night they had a little portable bar, and the bartender. We'd have 1 or 2 drinks before they would take us out to dinner. So one night, the host came up to me. He says, "Jim, see the bartender over there?" I says, "Yeah, what about him?" "He thinks he knows you." I looked at him. I don't think so. I'm from the East Coast. He's the West Coast. We're talking about 3,000-mile difference. And, well, he's pretty sure you know. Let's go over and talk to him.
Okay.
So we went over, and I started off, have you always lived in California? Yeah, well, I lived in Massachusetts. Where did you go to school? I forgot what he told me. I said, well, the only thing I can think of, were you in the service at all? He says, yeah. And I said, well, I was in the service too. Where were you in the service? I was in the Air Corps. As soon as he said Air Corps,
Light goes off. Bing.
Jack Dempsey.
Yeah.
Oh God, he came out, we were hugging each other. And Jack Dempsey said to the host, I got to tell you, sir, this is the man that saved my life. Okay, now you see how things had happened? Why did I turn around?
Yeah.
How did I save his life? Why was it after 15 years I happened to see that man? Which just an unusual coincidence.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you say, a lot of fate goes on in your life.
A lot of fate, yeah.
A lot of fate.
Yeah.
There's a plan out there.
So the other thing,
Okay.
the other thing I can talk, anyway, I did 6 missions with the crew, and then they assigned me to the Merrill crew.
Okay,
They wanted a lead bombardier, so I did 14 missions as a lead bombardier
okay,
with them. So I led my last 16 missions. I was a leader.
okay. What was the date of the last mission, do you remember? How far you went?
I would say about maybe March of 45,
Okay,
about that time, yeah.
about March of 45. Did you participate because of that? Think about, let me ask you 2 other ones. Did you have anything to do with Operation Aphrodite?
No,
No, none of
I
that.
wasn't there at the time.
Okay. And then on the Battle of the Bulge, I know we ended up doing some low-level bombing mission or high-level bombing mission to help the guys at Bastogne. Were you involved in that mission?
I was, yeah.
You were involved in that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that, that was very interesting because my first mission with the new crew was Hamburg.
Okay.
Okay, so I led the mission to Hamburg, and we had a pretty good result that I thought because once I released my bombs, as soon as I get over the target, I can still look straight down and see where the impact was. So after we landed, we went for our critique, and all the crews giving their report. We hit the target just right.
Okay. At Hamburg?
Hamburg.
Okay.
And
What kind of, could you explain the kind of defense and the flak and the fighters that occurred on that mission, on that Hamburg mission? This is the one in December, 44?
I don't remember fighting it. I do remember the flak. It was heavy.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Really heavy.
You run a bomb run, and you expect the airplane to be steady, but you go up and down from the force of the explosions. But anyway, so the group bombardier came over. He said, "Jim, where did the bombs hit?" I said, "As far as I'm concerned, if you check around with all the other crews, we hit the target pretty well."
Okay.
So that was all right.
Right.
But 10 minutes later, came over to me and said, "Jim, you missed the target." "What are you talking about?" I know I hit the target. No, they took pictures. You missed the target. So I said, "Will you explain that to me?" He said, "Well, the airplane that had the camera took the pictures." "Yeah, but," I said, his name was Leslie Bond. I said, "Les, for crying out loud, this is the airplane taking the pictures. If by chance the airplane should go like that, he's going to take pictures of something else. And what he probably did was to get the impact of another group that went in there." I said, "No." So you missed the target. I said, "Well, if you say so, I missed the target. Okay, fine. Now don't forget, it's the last day of the year, right?
Okay.
December 31st. So when we got back, I had
There goes your bonus for the year.
yeah. So after a little nap, something to eat and all that, well, we're trying to celebrate New Year's Day. So later that day, on New Year's, later that day, New Year's Day, we're all at the officers club, and we're drinking and celebrating because you figure, well, I'm not scheduled to fly, everything is fine. So about 2 o'clock in the morning, get a phone call. The sergeant came over and said, "Sir, you wanted a telephone?" Well, I had a few drinks, and I staggered over to the telephone. I said, "Hello?" And "Is that you, Jim?" I said, "Yes, sir. Who's this? This Colonel Cox." I need you to lead a mission today. I said, Colonel, I can't do that today. How about the other lead bombardiers? Well, he said, I got 2 of them around passing London. I got 2 or 3 more. They're guns or they're dead drunk. And I said, what makes you think I'm sober? He said, he said, because I'm talking to you, I figure you're the best one of all. So,
You're the most sober of
Yeah.
the bunch. You're the only idiot to answer the phone.
so, well, now this is more or less,
All right.
I couldn't refuse it.
Okay.
This is an honor.
So this is on New Year's Day, he wants to launch, he needs to launch.
Yeah. So he said, I need you, it's an important mission from
Okay.
what I know. So that mission was January, it ended to be January 2nd.
Okay. Yeah,
So, I get to the airplane. I'm trying to put my machine guns in place. One of the crewmen said, Lieutenant, I'll put the guns in you. You got them in the wrong way. And now I'm not drunk or stoned or anything, but I'm not 100%.
Okay.
So I finally get into my position. I start sucking 100% oxygen. And little by little, I'm coming to. But
Okay.
in the meantime, we had a briefing. And when I went to the briefing, we were part of another. We had so many airplanes to be part of a larger group.
Okay.
So, my target was, we'll make a picture. This was my target. And that was a switching point for the Germans to bring supplies in and bring them to the front
Okay.
for the Bastogne,
Okay.
Bastogne mission.
Passed up.
So we have being the lead airplane, there was a major that took over
Okay.
to be command pilot.
Do you remember his name?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So we got up in the air, and little by little I'm coming to and all that. So finally, on the way to the mission, I got to my IP, and my bomb sight is hooked up to the automatic pilot,
Okay.
and I have control of the airplane.
Okay. So you're flying the airplane at this point.
So I'm starting to get ready for a bomb run, and the major calls down. He says, "Bombardier," he says, "You got everything right?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Look over to the left. The other groups, they're already on the bomb run. Are you sure you're on the right track?" Now he's driving me banana because I wasn't 100%. Did I make a mistake? Am I going to screw up?
Okay.
I don't want to screw up because I'm liable for all the lives, behind me, the other planes. So, I looked down again. I checked my information. I look at my. I look at the crosshairs of the bomb sight, and they're not moving. They're frozen onto the target. Now, I checked all my other entries, the wind speed, ground speed, different things like that. That information went into the bomb site, and if your information was perfect, and if your crosshairs froze on a target,
Okay.
you're gonna hit it right on the nose. So I called back. I said, "Sir, I'm pretty sure we're doing the right thing. I'm on the right track." So he said to me, this got me mad. "I gotta tell you, Bombardier, if you screw up this mission, I'm gonna have your ass." Those are the exact words.
Okay.
Well, I'm a lieutenant, he's a major. I'm ready to say to him,
Right.
say some other words to him. So about halfway down the bomb run, I happened to look over to my left, and the group was on the other course. They were getting hit by anti-aircraft.
Okay.
So I called up. I said, "Sir, Major, would you like me to follow the other group? Oh, no, you're doing all right.
We're safe over here.
So,
All right.
so we get over the target, and I look down, and I got to tell you, Rory,
Okay.
all the bombs hitting right in that circle.
Right in that circle.
Now, when you get a hit like that, that's what they call a shack. Have you
Okay.
ever heard that term?
Yeah, you shacked them.
A shack.
Okay.
So fine. So
Got a
we get
shack.
back to the base, and we had the critique and all that, and everybody's happy because we had a good mission. We hit the target just right. Les Bonconneau, the group bombardier, Jim, where the bombs hit. I'm not going to tell you, Liz. I'm asking where the bombs hit. I'm not going to tell you. I said, the other day you told me I missed a target. I'll tell you what, you go get the pictures of this mission, then I'll tell you where the bombs hit. so he sent one of the men out in the Jeep to the photo lab. Came back in about 10 minutes, and I have the picture of that impact.
Okay.
They called it a shack.
Okay.
Smack on the nose. So Colonel Cox at the Officers Club, he got me up there and he wanted to thank me for what we did, because at that time the bomb group had the bombing record wasn't too good.
Okay.
So Colonel Cox, all full of compliments, and Jim brought the group up to where they should be a successful mission. And he says, I got to tell you, I took Jim away from the Officers Club. They were celebrating New Year's, and I took him away. But he said, come on, Jim, I'm going to take you back to the Officers Club. You can finish your celebration. So I had a nice mission.
Okay.
And that was a real nice nice event in my life
Okay.
as a bombardier.
And it helped the guys at Bastogne.
Well, because
Big time.
what happened at that, not only here, but all along that front,
It totally disrupted their
we disrupted
movement
everything, yeah.
of them being able to go on. So that was good. Okay, cool.
How much time do we have?
Well, we haven't run out of memory yet. Getting down to 26 minutes left. We've been going for over an hour and 10 minutes.
So why don't I go to,
Well, I was gonna say, you got anything else? That was in like first of the year of 45, and then you went on to March of 45, and you got your finished.
yeah.
You ended up getting
We
about a
just-
total of 50 missions total, or,
I did 20 more, so,
okay, so 20, so 30, so you end up with 50 missions.
which is unusual,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, okay,
So,
that's pretty cool. And you're ultimately there for a little over a year.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's pretty cool.
So, when I had to clear everything off the base. So when I got to the group bombardier's office, and he had to sign me out. He says, Jim, I'd like you to stay to be assistant group bombardier,
Okay,
and there'll be a promotion for you in it. I said, Les, can I use a bad word on this interview?
probably not,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Well, let me say this. I said, I got to tell you, Les, some time ago, because I came back, I was supposed to get my captaincy right away, which meant the railroad tracks, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So now you're telling me, after what I went through 20 missions, almost getting killed and doing my work and all that, now you offer me a new job to be captain. So I'll tell you what, you take your railroad tracks and shove them up your
Okay,
blank, blank, blank. I said, just sign my papers, I'm going home.
okay,
So-
you'd had enough.
Yeah. So I went home.
So what was do you remember the date you left? You actually left Germany? England? Got back to the States?
It had to be about April.
Okay, by the time you got back.
Because when I got back home, 2 weeks' time, I married my sweetheart.
Okay,
That was May of 1945.
okay.
Yeah, and
Well, that Europe war was over.
not,
The war in Europe was over.
not yet.
Not yet?
I'm on my honeymoon, right?
Oh, okay.
In Boston. There was May 6th.
May 6th. May
Yeah.
9th, I think May 9th is the official date they signed it, but it was over before
We
that.
got married May 6th, so
Okay,
we're in the honeymoon suite in Boston,
okay,
which is on a Sunday. And then we went sightseeing, we had dinner, we did nice time, it was our honeymoon. And then Tuesday, we did more traveling around the city and everything like that.
okay,
But Tuesday morning, there's a knock on the door. We're in the honeymoon suite.
okay.
There's a knock on the door, and I said, "Who the hell is that?"
Knock on the door.
Yeah. So I got up in my pajamas and my robe. It was the maid.
Okay,
I said, what can I do for you, man?
okay,
And she said, well, the man just said if we can finish all our work up early, we can go home for the day. I said, what for? She says, today's D-Day. So D-Day was on my honeymoon.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Victor in Europe Day.
Victor in Europe. So that was it. We spent about 6 more days in Boston. I had to report to Atlantic City, and my wife and I went to Atlantic City. It's supposed to be for 2 weeks, but we ended up 6 weeks.
Okay,
And we had the whole summer in Atlantic City. But one interesting thing was, and I think we might finish with this.
okay,
I had to go to get an interview to get a physical, and to get an interview for a future assignment.
okay,
Okay, and when I went to the for future assignment, the personnel officer said, "We're going to send you to Midland, Texas." I says, "What for?" I've been to Midland, Texas. It's just a hole, you know. He said, "What for?" Well, you have to go to learn how to be a bombardier instructor. I said, "What the hell are you telling me? I got 50 missions under my belt. You're going to tell me I have to go and learn how to be an instructor? I can teach. I can do that without going to Midland. I don't want to go to Midland, Texas." So he said, "Well, it's SOP." So just like that, I said I said, "Sir, you know, by the way, would you have a nice desk job for me? But I want to have 4 hours of flight time every month so I can collect my 50% pay." "Are you serious?" "Yeah, I'd like to listen to it." So, okay, we'll put you in personnel distribution. So I had to go to New York City for training for
okay,
the GI Bill of Rights insurance so that I could address the GIs getting discharged and tell them what they had for the benefits they had in civilian life. So that was pretty good. So I ended up pretty well.
okay,
That's a longer story, but I can skip that.
okay.
I can skip that and go back to the
Save that for another day.
go back to the psychiatrist.
Okay,
Now, if you ever had experience with a psychiatrist, sometimes I think they're nutty.
yeah, they're nuttier than we
They're
are.
nuttier than the patient. So I walked into
Okay,
the psychiatrist's office. He's got his big legal pad there, and he's sitting over there. He asked me to speak, so I'm talking. Well, he said, I just came back from the service. I did 50 missions, blah, blah. He started asking me questions. How's your appetite? I said, the answers I gave him were based on what I learned my first time in Atlantic City after my furlough for the 30 missions and then going back. So how's your appetite? I said, pretty good. I said, only one problem. He says, what? I said, I sit down to eat, and all of a sudden I'm not hungry at all. I just push my dish aside. I'll have a drink, and I'll have a couple cigarettes, and how many drinks do you have a day? Oh, I might have a couple at lunchtime, maybe 2 or 3 at dinner time, and if we go out for the night, we'll have some more. So he's going bananas. He's riding on that yellow pig. He's turning over. And so, how do you sleep at night? Not too bad. So I fall asleep, and I might sleep for about an hour or two. Then I have to get up. I wake up, and I'll have a couple of cigarettes. And how many cigarettes do you smoke? Oh, maybe 2 or 3 packs a day. He's riding, and he's ready to go, and the sheets are going over and over. And he said, tell me, when you sleep, do you dream about anything? I says, the usual thing. I said to the psych, the usual thing. You're dreaming that you're on a mission, and you dream that your plane gets shot down, and then you dream that you're in a parachute, and you're out of the airplane, and you're going to land somewhere. I said, doctor, the usual dreams. I've heard a lot of people having that. So finally, he says, I think I know what your trouble is. I had no trouble, believe me.
Yeah,
I just got married. I'm running my beautiful wife. I don't have to worry about combat anymore. We're having a nice time in Atlantic City. I know what your problem is. You have combat fatigue. That's the decision I made. Well, if you say so, I'll do whatever it takes to get back to normal. He says, well, I want you to participate every day in something, whatever it is, bowling, fishing, anything like that, and I want you to report to me late in the afternoon, and you'll be all set. So, went bowling, went fishing, I have an appetite. I had to stop eating because my uniform was getting this.
Kind of fat, yeah.
So my experience with the psychiatrist was really something. When I went back to the room to the hotel, I said to my GM, honey, you should have been there. What an act I pulled out. You did all that? Yeah, you should have seen this doctor. The guy was going crazy. He had the master patient experience. Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
So
when did you finally get discharged? Or did you end up staying in, or no?
no.
When did you get discharged?
I ended up in. We got assigned to Indian Town Gap, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and my wife and I lived in Hershey, Pennsylvania, beautiful town, and I used to commute every day, and I had a nice job, and I was up for promotion, but then a couple of days later, I was approached and said, "You have to get out of the service or stay in for another year." I said, why do I have to leave? We were having a good time,
Yeah.
Officers Club every night and dancing and the whole
Yeah,
work.
too good of a time.
Yeah, too good. My wife enjoyed it. It was like being on a long, long honeymoon, really. So he said, you have too many points.
Oh, okay. You can't have that going on.
Yeah, you have too many. You have to get out. If you sign up for another year, you can do the same thing. So I decided. I think I had enough. I'm going home.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So what date was that? What day were you discharged?
Well, when I left, I had accumulated time. My actual discharge came in. I think September of '45. Yeah.
Okay. Then you went back to where?
Then I went back to work.
Okay. And
Then
started
I
your
had-
life over again.
Yeah. Then I ended up with
Went back into the pharmacy business and worked for the company and
Then I had a chance to buy
got the Rose Bowl.
buy
promotion.
I had a chance to buy the drugstore that I was managing.
Okay,
And I had that for about 25 years. I did pretty well.
did pretty good.
Yeah, pretty
All
good.
right. I'll start with that good fate way back early.
Faith, yeah.
All right.
Faith.
Well, great. Well, listen, thank you very much
Okay.
for taking the time to do this.
Do you want to hear, do you have time for my injuries?
You got battle injuries?
Yeah.
Sure, hold on just one second though, okay? Okay, all right. Tell me about your war wounds. What kind of war wounds do you get flying all that, dodging all that flak and bullets?
The day I got wounded, a piece of shell came through the nose,
Okay,
okay? And the plexiglass shards got all over my neck, into my eyes.
okay,
And I started bleeding quite a bit, but I was conscious. I wasn't in any pain of any kind. But anyway, my navigator took care of first aid and everything. And when we landed, they took me into a room. The doctor laid me down. He put eye drops in my eyes and he stained some kind of stain. And they spent about an hour with the tweezers taking out pieces of the plexiglass.
okay,
And fortunately, I was lucky I didn't lose my eyesight or anything. So anyway, the reason I bring this up,
okay,
they took care of my neck and they put on a big heavy bandage round and around and around. And the doctor said, I want to keep you overnight, maybe 2 or 3 days to see if you're all right and everything like that. I said, doctor, no way. I said, get me all bandaged up. I said, 'cause, my crew's been without a pass for about 6 or 7 or 8 weeks, and it just happens tonight starts our
okay,
3-day pass to London. I'm not going to give that up at all. I said, okay, when you get to London, in case something comes up, this is where I want you to go. We got you all bandaged and everything. So the reason I bring this up was very, very funny because we went to the four of us, my navigator, pilot, and co-pilot, we went to some restaurant for dinner. We had a nice dinner. So we had some kind of a beef dinner.
okay,
And while we're eating it, I looked around. There's no mustard, so I called the waitress over. Can I have some mustard, please? So she said, "Oh yeah." She came over with a little bit of a cup with some mustard in there. And I looked at it. It didn't seem right. So anyway, it didn't matter. So I love mustard, so I got a piece of meat, put my fork into it, dipped it into the mustard, okay? Soaked the meat with the mustard and put it in my mouth, all right? And all of a sudden, I stood, the entire dining room there, Jesus, there's got to be something wrong with him. He's all bandaged. He's going to die or something like that. I'm going like this. I took some bread that was on the table. I started eating bread.
So what was it? It was curry?
No, what I love about mustard, the regular mustard.
Okay,
In England, they serve what they call real hot mustard.
yeah,
And when
curry.
when I finally came to, no, you just touch the mustard, like what you get on the end of a pin,
Yeah.
and that's all you have. I took all. I mean, it burned me, but everybody drove everybody bananas. Yeah, so it was something.
So that's a different war wound.
Yeah. So that
Different kind of war wound.
that 3-day pass cost me a lot of money.
Yeah,
Because when I get out of the service, I was supposed to get a VA disability or something. I wasn't disabled, but it came under that heading. So when they finally made the decision, they said, you're gonna get a zero disability. He said, how come? We don't find a hospital record.
Oh, yeah?
I refuse to go to the hospital for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no record for it.
So if
The doctor just pits the
so-
treatment, so
So if I
it
had
never
the
happened.
hospital treatment, I would have been getting all those years. Now we talked away with many,
Yeah.
many years ago. How much money I lost. It didn't matter to me, but it's just the idea. I'm
Yeah.
alive. That's what
You're
counted
alive, that's,
to me.
okay.
But I thought
Right.
that experience with the muscles was really something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some hot stuff. Like I say, it's called curry, and it is really, really hot stuff. Really hot stuff. All
Okay,
right, well,
Roy,
thank you very much for the time. Appreciate it. Let me,